think Thailand's a great country. I just love it to be here. I love the weather. I love the people, and I think they're protecting their people very well. You know.
What is your idea around sparring during a camp?
You know, the sparring, it have to be very specific because you have like an opponent and you need a sparring partner who work like him. You need to tell the sparring partner to punch these combinations. I don't need like free sparring, you know, because for what? We work professional. We have a 12-week camp. We start in the 2-3 first weeks. We do like strength and conditioning, like I said. Then we go on the heavy back, yeah. And before we look videos of the opponent, we see, okay, what does he do? What he don't do? What is the combinations?
Welcome to Fruiting Body Podcast with your host, Brendan. We have an absolute legend on the show today. It is Senad Gashi. He is competing in, it's not the heavyweight division. It's kind of in between. What is the brigade division, or how do you pronounce that?
Yo, what's up, guys?
We'll get into that in a second because
Okay.
I only do one take. Even if I screw it up, I still go with it. We'll get into the actual division and what he's competing with, but why he's in Thailand over at Tiger Muay Thai. I swear I've ran into you at Bangtao MMA before. Maybe coming and going, it would have been 6 months ago. But before we get into it, because this is probably my worst introduction ever, I'm all over the place. We'll let you know what we are. We are Fruiting Body Mushrooms. We're doing cordyceps, lion manes. Lion's Mane, it's the best out there. If you like that stuff, go check it out. Links in the description. Don't forget, like, subscribe. If not, unsubscribe. If you're tired of me rambling already, it's up to you. But let's just jump right into it. We've already been talking for 30 minutes, so I guess this is a fake introduction.
Yeah.
How's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining.
First of all, thank you very much for letting me come here. It's very cool here. Nice to meet you, and I'm excited. What's going on?
Yeah, because at least you're familiar. You're doing your YouTube thing as well, and we'll get into that and get into the training. But as we do, let's just start at the beginning. Let us know a little bit about what was it like growing up in Kosovo in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm born there, and it was cool. It was a nice country. It was a little bit isolated because we had some issues with some neighbor countries. But as a child, you don't feel it because you just know it like that way, yeah? And then suddenly we had war. We had like an invasion of Serbia. And, this was like a bad time. We lost our house. Some of my family died. And we had to escape from the country.
Yeah, I saw you did a video with Hamzat Chimaev. And you're kind of coming from the same background stories as well. I mean, these rougher upbringings and then becoming a boxer. Can you kind of walk us through that? Like, how did you get into this career of boxing? And essentially, now you're on the island of Phuket. I mean, life's good.
Yeah, like I said, when I was like 6, 7, the war came and we had to leave the country, yeah, because we lost our house. So we moved to Germany and we built there a new house, we built there a new life. Germany gave us the chance. And we started everything from scratch. But, for me, I was a small child, yeah. For me, it was very normal.
You're probably, you're about 9, 10?
No, I was like 6, 7. Yeah.
6, 7.
6, 7,
yeah.
yeah.
So and your family at this point, everyone's up and moving. And
yeah, everybody was moving. I moved with my family and my sister. And like I said, for me, I thought it's normal because I was a small child. When you're a small child, you don't know if you're rich, if you're poor, because you only have one view. You know what I mean? You don't know how is the life of others, and you don't think on that. And we got to Germany. I need to learn the language. Was a little bit barriers. Yeah, was a little bit also different mentality. And I started fighting very young, unfortunately.
Most fighters that I've had discussions with, usually it's due to bullying or they're trying to protect themselves in some which way. What was your story of actually getting into fighting?
Well, I watched the Rocky movie. Yeah, I watched the Rocky movie. And I was so inspired by the guy because he was training, he looked strong, he helped his family, he built a complete new life. And, I came, like I said, from the war. We start from Germany from zero. And I just want to help my parents. I saw my parents didn't have money to help me. They support me with everything what they had, yeah. But I saw when I visit other children, other friends of me, it was not the same, So, and I said to myself, oh man, I need to be a champion. I need to be like Rocky.
What age was that at?
Like 13, 14.
13, 14.
Yeah.
Was there like a Kosovo community that, because you're all, were you guys, would it have been defined as like refugees leaving?
Yeah, like, as Albanian, we don't say Kosovo, we say Albanians, yeah.
Albania, okay.
Albanians. And there was some Kosovos, but I was not some, we was spread it all around. So there was like an aspect from the German, they spread us around that we don't stay together, because like this you have better integration. Because if you put all together in one city, then nobody will learn the language, they will stick in their groups. So us, they separated. This was quite good, yeah. It was good to integrate in Germany, but it was perhaps a little bit bad for our roots, yeah.
Yeah, my understanding of the whole Kosovo war, we won't go too deep into that. It was ethnic Albanians in the land, I guess the territory labeled as Kosovo, and Serbia was coming in and trying, causing these problems and whatnot. So ethnically, just because the area you were from was Kosovo, you're more your background is Albanian. This is how you
100%.
Yeah.
We are Albanians. Albania and Kosovo was one country. Then we got separated. We was a part of Yugoslavia, and then a part of Serbia took us over. They want to have us in them, so that's the story. But we are Albanians. We speak the language. We have tradition. We have
When you talk to family back home, is there still tension, a lot of issues going on there, or do you guys kind of try to forget that and put it in the past?
At the moment there is also like some situations, and it can happen anytime the war. It's a very, very heated up situation there.
When you're identifying yourself now, you're a German boxer, you're fighting for the country of Germany.
Yeah.
Would you be able to represent Albania?
Yeah. I tell you one thing about nationalities, yeah. I didn't choose it. For me, I'm just a human like everybody else. It's not an achievement to be a German or Albanian or anything, yeah. For me, it really doesn't matter. It's just written somewhere that I represent any country, but I don't give a shit on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just invisible landlines at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's sure. It's like,
and it's all politics.
You get born, they choose your name, they choose your religion, they choose your country, and you spend the rest of your life to fight for something what you haven't even choose,
I mean, for me, dear Thailand, I would gladly give up my Canadian passport for a Thai passport, just because it's the stuff going on back there. It's an absolute mess. But that's what's interesting about Thailand, and I do respect them for that. It's the fact that Thailand is for the land of the Thais, and they really protect their country and their nature. And I think this is what keeps it so interesting for people like us to be coming back here. It stays Thailand. It is Thailand. What are your thoughts on that as you've went into other countries and integrated into Germany? But these places like Thailand, they're very careful to push back.
Yeah, I think Thailand's a great country. I just love it to be here. I love the weather. I love the people, and I think they're protecting their people very well. That not other they keep still their traditions but they also don't let them rule by money, And also what I like the most about the Thailand life is that we Western Europe, so West Americans, Canadians, whatever, when we do more money, our life standard increase. We buy a new car, we buy a newer watch, we buy a bigger house, everything gets bigger. But when a Thai makes more money, he still stay the same.
Yeah, it's
you cannot tell. They don't increase their life standard, and this is what I appreciate here the most. It's not every time about bigger, better.
What first brought you to Thailand, and when was your first trip here?
I was here the first time before 8 years. I came here over, and I just wanted to train. I just want to train. I come here over. I loved it. I saw all the fighters. I saw the lifestyle. I just was flushed.
It is the lifestyle. Especially, I saw you're doing some videos in Bangkok, and it was the whole everywhere you have to go is 20 minutes. But in places like Phuket, and to be honest, this whole 20 minutes around, it's training in cities, even if you're in Los Angeles or if you're in Florida and, different training camps there. But in Phuket, everything is so convenient. The beach, the food, the gyms. You're back here training at Tiger Muay Thai. Is Phuket potentially going to become like a second or third home to you?
Oh, I would say Albania is there and Phuket is here. And I love Phuket. And it's not the second home, it is my home, yeah. I often bring also my family here over from Albania and stuff like that. And they just love it. They go nuts.
How did you decide Tiger Muay Thai and kind of basing yourself there?
I don't train actually in Tiger Muay Thai. I actually don't train there. I train like all over the place, you know.
Ah, okay.
When I have like a pro fight, at the moment I'm like number 7 in the world. I fight in 2 months for the world championship. And so if I have a fight, I bring my coach here over.
Mm-hmm.
And we train anywhere, you know. We don't need to be in a certain place. But we just go sometimes from gym to gym because you have like different coaches and you can adapt some new movements. And when you get by every training from a coach, you get 1% better. This is a huge achievement.
Where were you training today?
Today we was training just in the gym because we have 2 sessions. We do in the morning cardio and strength, and at night we do boxing.
And which gym were you at?
Dragon Muay Thai we go tonight.
Dragon Muay, is that Rawai?
No,
Where's
that's
Dragon?
in Chalong. That's in the Soitayat on
Right
the
on this okay.
famous fighter street.
At your level, I mean, at this professional level, I mean, world rank number 7, you're fighting for the title. Is it difficult to find sparring partners?
Yeah, it's impossible.
It's
impossible when
especially.
you're big,
but you're coming from a kickboxing background, correct?
I come from kickboxing, karate, yeah, but now it's boxing, you know, and you need like sparring is like the most important thing, and this is why we do now 5 weeks of the camp here, and then the next 3 weeks we go back to Germany, and organize their special sparring partners from all over the world.
So the first 5 weeks are here. What is
Yeah.
kind of the idea behind that? Is it, I mean, it's not like a fat camp. It's more you're doing it to get in shape, or what are you doing here specifically?
The thing is, in Germany, I'm not so unknown, yeah. So I don't have my piece at all, you know. I go somewhere, people, hey, come here, let's do this, let's make this, and I'm a yes sayer, you know. I'm like, oh yes, let's do it. So here in Thailand, I have my piece, and nobody distracts me. So this is why this stage is very important, because here we do a lot of strategic stuff. We talk a lot, we see videos, we analyze, and I'm here like almost alone, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying Yuri Prohaska was on the podcast. Exactly what he said. In Czech Republic, he comes here because in Czech Republic it's all day. It's very difficult to escape the media or just these questions. Can you do this? Can you do that?
Yeah. Let's do a picture here. Let's talk. You know, in the end, this ends up. In the end, you lose in day 2 hours just by actually doing nothing.
Running around.
Yeah, running around.
So what does your day kind of consist of? Do you have a very strict schedule while you're here?
Yeah, I have a schedule. It's like my day is almost complete scheduled. I have my 2 trainings, then I need to sleep between, I eat, and that's it. It's like very, very, I don't have much time for playing around, you know. I'm here not for vacation, I'm here for work.
Are you doing the 2 or 3 days a week training, or 2 or 3 times a day training?
2 times.
2
but
times
it's very, but it's very intense, you know.
Yeah.
And I also sleep long. I need my siesta. So
yeah, usually after that 1 o'clock is the crash time. I'm assuming like are you training early in the morning, like 9 or 10?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then you'll train again today at 4?
At 6.
At 6 o'clock.
At 6, yeah.
Going more into the sparring side, and that's the one thing I for athletes at your level, and I've seen around the island, it's very difficult to find sparring partners. Many people that are in the fight business, whether it's UFC, whether it's MMA, whether it's boxing, kickboxing, they'll talk a lot about how sparring, maybe they don't need to spar, or they spar hard, or they spar soft. What is your idea around sparring during a camp?
The thing is also, look, here are many people, yeah? Here are sometimes also heavy guys, but also the problem is with these heavy guys, if you have a fight, yeah, you have like a camp, and the sparring you do in the last 3 weeks. So perhaps they're here, yeah, but they don't have the sparring phase at the moment. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps you see them here, but you don't catch them on the right time. Perhaps they're in their cardio time at the moment for the preparation, yeah. And what's about the sparring? You know, the sparring, it have to be very specific, because you have like an opponent, and you need a sparring partner who work like him. You need to tell the sparring partner to punch these combinations.
To mimic the opponent.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't need like free sparring, you know, because for what? We work professional. We have a 12-week camp. We start in the 2-3 first weeks. We do like strength and conditioning, like I said. Then we go on the heavy back, yeah. And before we look videos of the opponent, we see, okay, what does he do, what he don't do, what is the combinations. These combinations we do like 1-2 weeks on the heavy back, Then we go on the pads, do the same combinations. Then we do partner work. We take a guy and just do these combinations on the partner. And then we go, last transition is to the sparring partner. So you see it's a smooth transition from heavy back to pads to partner work to sparring.
And more on the partner work, you're saying you're getting that into the last 3 weeks of the camp.
Partner work, yeah, start last 5 weeks.
Is there dangers in maybe heavy sparring that could lead to concussions, people having to pull out of fights? Is this typical in the boxing world?
It can happen anytime, you know. Sometimes people want to go hard, they want to prove themselves. Because, you know, when I do sparring 12 rounds and I take 4 people. So I let everybody do 3 rounds, yeah. And after the first day, you see already, okay, who's the strongest, who's the weakest, who's okay. And then the next days, if you feel good, you can put the best one in the end. You know, so they take like the best of you out, yeah. But if you have a bad day, you take the best one in the beginning so that the rest gets easy, you know. So you can play around with it. And it's very scientific, you know. People think it's very easy, but it's like.
Where does this strategy and structure come from? Is this you or is this coaches that are helping to put it together?
It's both together, you know. It's like my experience and it's also my coaches. So we watch videos together. We get like, we talk to other pros and we get like analyses of teams. And then I see what this, I asked for example 10 pros, yeah, 10 pro coaches, 10 pro fighters. And I see what these all people say in common, what they have all together. And this, on this point I train, yeah.
And have you been working with these same coaches since you were young or does this evolve?
So, no, it changed, yeah, it changed. I have some coaches from since I'm young, 100%, yeah. But I'm not more the same Senad like I was young, you know. I'm now another Senad. But still, it's good. I still work with them 100%.
Walking through the career of a professional boxer and reaching the pinnacle, the top, let's say becoming the champion.
Yeah.
Beyond that, what is your goals? What is your aspiration? I mean, at a certain point in a career, let's say 40, 45, whenever that is, what do you see yourself doing? Where do you see yourself maybe in that 10 years?
This is what I like to do the most is like the fighting. I enjoy too. I love it too. Yeah, but I like more this YouTube stuff. I like more to give people more value to the life. Yeah, and I think with my YouTube channel, where I'm traveling around presenting gyms, I think I have a big influence on people, and just give my knowledge. You know, just share my knowledge. That's cool.
Do you see yourself kind of pursuing this more as maybe time frees up? Is that something you'd like to do full time at some point?
Yeah, 100%. When I start my YouTube channel about Ringfluencer presenting gyms, you know, I did like 4 or 5 episodes. The numbers was quite low. I was like really fucked up. I was really disappointed. So I went one time on the street and a guy stops me. He say like, "Hey," I say, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Are you?" And I think like he says, "Senad Gashi." He say, "Are you the Ringfluencer?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the Ringfluencer." He said, "Hey, because of you, I trained this gym." And really, my heart was like, "Bum." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool. I know, yeah." And
he's not recognizing you as the boxer.
No, it's the boxer. He recognized me as the
Yeah.
Ringfluencer, and I loved that. You know, my heart was beating. I was like, "Wow, that's a cool feeling. I love it."
You've traveled around the world again doing this YouTube channel to many different countries. Where do you feel like was the most influential type of content you were making? Something that really touched you?
I think the most is here in Thailand, yeah, because here coming people from all over the world, and it's cool, you know. It's just cool when you have a nice impact on somebody's life.
Yeah,
even without knowing it, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the power of YouTube. You don't realize maybe how many people you're speaking to, and it only takes one person that can come back to you with that story and say, you know, you had that influence on me. I went to this gym. I've left Germany just to come try this as well.
You know, I do on my YouTube, on my TikToks also a lot like of comedy, fun jokes, yeah, but sometimes it also can be annoying because there are people, they see you every day on your social medias and stuff like that, and they think they're your friends, but you actually don't know them. Sometime on the street and I see guys, I say to my friend, "Does he want I beat him up?" He's like, "No, man, he's just admiring you." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I say, "Why is he all the time staring at me this way?" He said, "Bro, he knows you, but he's ashamed to talk." I'm like, "Okay." But sometimes it's difficult, you know, like to separate sometimes.
Yeah, I've had many YouTubers on the channel, and some with big channels, 500,000 subscribers, and they said the same thing. You'll get a fan come up to them, and be like, "Hey, how's it going? Oh my god!" Like, but not saying not like a celebrity. They actually were coming up to them like they knew them.
Yeah,
And then the YouTuber's like, "Who the hell are you?" And then their brain turns on and they go, "Oh wait, you have no idea who I am."
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, they are pissed if you don't recognize them. They're like pissed. Yeah, I have this all sometime in fights. I have fights. I fight like in front of 20, 30,000 people. Yeah, and people come to me. They say, "Yeah, I was in your fight." I'm like, "Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it." He's like, "You don't know me anymore?" I'm like, I don't know. He said, "I was in the 4th row." I'm like, "Man, I don't know." But they're like disappointed, yeah, that you don't recognize them. It's it's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's the human psychology around, watching people that maybe if you're watching on YouTube or any type of channel. Did yourself when you were growing up, you've had idols and heroes, like you said, with Rocky and Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you've met that you've been starstruck?
But actually not. I met like a lot of people. I was traveling now in 87 countries all over the world. And I met like a lot of people, I think like it's better when you have an idol not to meet you in person, because then you realize perhaps he's not like this.
Don't meet your hero.
Don't meet your hero, yeah. Is this a saying? Yeah,
yeah, we have
Exist?
this. Don't
oh,
yeah, it
shit,
does.
man, that's right. 100%.
Don't
meet your hero. Oh yeah, 100%.
Is there anyone out there that you really idolize that you would love to meet one day?
Yeah, Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think, yeah. I think he accomplished so much, from a small Austrian guy to the governor of California, to Terminator, to anything what he wanted, yeah.
Was that quick when you're growing up in Germany, where most Germans kind of, attracted that magnet of Schwarzenegger and what he's done?
No, but I think he should be for everybody in the world a role model, yeah.
Yeah, he's a very interesting guy, especially when you listen to him speak, and how I think the biggest thing from Schwarzenegger, it's his discipline.
His chest. No.
His chest, yeah. But I mean, this guy, his craft and not just weightlifting, every single thing he does.
Everything he does.
So disciplined.
Discipline is the key for everything. You can be, most sportists also, they get after career successfully, they put the discipline, if you just transfer to something else. And they put this in business, Schwarzenegger was crazy.
Yeah, and I think that carries over into whatever you're doing personally. Yourself, are you able to stay disciplined in Thailand? Thailand has a lot of, attractions. You could wake up in the morning and be like, I'm going to the beach today.
Yeah, I hate to be in the beach, actually.
To be honest, I live on the beach and I go very rarely.
Yeah, I hate it, man. I feel so lazy, the sun, then you have sand in your ass. It's like, it's annoying.
Friends like living in Canada, they would love to come to the beach, but people will be like, "How are you?" They'll go, "Why don't you just go to the beach and just chill and lay down?" If I put a towel down and laid down, I would want to get up in 3 seconds.
Yeah,
because I don't know what I'm doing.
Me too. I kind of need to be on the phone to do something, like hyperactive. Yeah.
On your side now, not just in the boxing side, the business side as well, dealing with sponsors, maybe doing products.
Yeah.
On the business side, I mean, you seem very well educated. And you're definitely dialed in and understanding that. Do you put a lot of energy into that, or do you really just need to focus on the boxing?
No, I also put focus on other stuff. I was studying in Germany. I have 2 bachelor degrees, and I do like my side things. There are many opportunities. I need to catch them. You cannot let them wait. And when I was young, I knew I was very good in boxing, so I knew I'm gonna make one day also money out of it. And I read also books about my idols, and I saw that all these guys had one thing in common. All had financial problems, and I was wondering, how is that possible? So I studied finance.
Study finance?
Yeah, I studied finance, yeah.
Are you planning to use, let's say, your cash flow, your funding from boxing to fund future business projects when you have that time? Is this kind of an idea?
Yeah, I do this already all the time. I have here in Thailand a big restaurant chain. Mm-hmm. And it's
what chain is it?
Pure vegan.
Pure vegan. This is the one you're saying is in Copenhagen?
It's more of them. It's 6 of them.
Oh wow, I wasn't aware of that. Are there some on the island?
Yeah, some
of
them too.
It's hard when I'm up in Bang Tao. We're kind of isolated.
Yeah,
there's not much up here, right?
No, there is not. One is in Ravai and one in Chalong on the Fighter Street.
When you went to build that, I mean, business. I own a company in Thailand as well, and the accounting is fun. the paperwork is very fun here. How maybe walk some people through. Let's talk more about the business side on Thailand. Like, you want to open up a business in Thailand. What are some of the steps you need to take?
The good thing for me was I have here a partner, and he's married to a Thai. He's a very good friend of me. So like this is the biggest difficulty I would say.
Yeah.
And this was already sorted out. So yeah, we trust each other. We do projects. It's fun.
And when you're starting those businesses like Pure Vegan, how do you decide that this is something that you want to pursue? I mean,
this Pure Vegan project already existed before.
Okay, so you're coming more as an investor?
Yeah, exactly. I jumped in, and then out of that, other things developed. It was like a snowball effect. It rolled, got bigger.
But you don't have to do any day-to-day operations monitoring. You're kind of on the outside watching this thing grow.
Exactly.
Do you have any other business you're able to share?
Some small car rental and some stuff like this.
But that's good. You're structuring your finances so that have some stability as you.
Yeah, you need to because the thing is in sport, the money's not coming all the time the same. Yeah, so you need to find a way. Also with the sponsors and stuff like this, it's like. It's not consistency,
Yeah, once the career is done, sponsors come, they go, but you need that stability as you go. I see you're wearing a quite nice watch. I got my Panerai as well.
It's a nice suit.
You're a Rolex guy?
Yeah. I'm a watch collector.
And a lot of people, I think this is becoming more new knowledge that actually the art of purchasing of watches is a very fine art. You need to know what you're getting. How is that going to go up in value? How did you get into watch collecting?
Like 2017, I got my first Rolex, and I just liked it, and I saw the prices are booming. Yeah, I had a very good connection to AD, so everything went well. But the thing is, the prices now are fucked also.
For the Rolex, yeah.
Yeah, for the Rolex, they dropped. Also for Patek, they dropped. They're still high, but still they dropped like 30-40%.
Yeah, I think the market was just flooded by, every YouTuber was buying a watch at one
everybody point. Was suddenly a watch dealer.
Yeah.
This was crazy. But still I'm in plus, I think. Yeah. But it's a side hustle, It's like investment.
Yeah, it's a storage of wealth.
Yeah.
Because watches, like these watches, this is why I have a left-hand one.
It's a left-hand one?
Yes. More value.
Why you wear it on the left hand?
Well, no, it's on. It should. I am. It should be on this hand. I can't because.
Are you lefty?
No, I'm not. It should be on this hand.
On the right hand, yeah. Because when you're lefty,
But I'm not wearing it. It's just there's more value because getting it in that way is more rare as well. Actually, fun fact: did you know I think it is the only granddaughter of Blue Tree, Blue Tree.
Blue Tree?
Blue Tree, it's up here. It's the huge water park.
Okay, yeah.
With the super crazy slide.
Launching thing. Yes.
The owner of that is the granddaughter of the owner of Patek Philippe. So this lady that's built the whole Blue Tree, she's like the only living grandchild of the owner of Patek Philippe. Funded this whole thing, and that is one of my dream watches. So if you're watching this, send it on over.
Oh, here in Thailand, they're the cheapest in the world. The Patek Philippe. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I don't know why, but they're here cheaper than anywhere in the world.
Yeah, usually if I tend to go into the stores more at the Paragon in Bangkok. At least you have some sort of selection there as well.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting. But on my side now, have you got into crypto at all? Any Bitcoin?
Crypto, yeah. I put money, I lost. I was trading,
Oh, no,
I did the most stupid thing.
Yeah, don't trade.
I had like an agency from Switzerland.
Yeah.
They took care of it, So I put some money and I was trading like crazy. I did like every month 20-30%. This was like ridiculous money. I felt like, I don't know, Bill Gates. Yeah? I think I thought I never need to work again. It went so well, yeah. And then one to the other, but they took also 50%, yeah.
Yeah, but then the markets crashed.
Yeah, no, but then it was fine. But then they told me one day, they said like, Senad, we need to stop. I'm like, why need to stop? They said the market is like, it's not good at the moment. But I thought they're fucked up of me, because sometime I saw when they was doing trades, it was like high, like I did like $3,000. Yeah, I took it. They said no, you should leave it, and so I did my own decisions. And I thought they only hate me because I do my own decisions. Yeah, but yeah, so they said we have to stop the partner work because of the crisis, blah blah. But I didn't believe it, so I did by myself, and I lost like 100K.
Yeah, were you trying to like day trade? Or are you
Yeah,
familiar
yeah.
with trading like Japanese candlesticks? You were trying to learn.
Bro, it's the problem. Not candlesticks, nothing. I just emotional. Bam, beam, boom. Yeah, look. I woke up. I dream of Shiba Inu. I bought. Bam, 20K.
No,
Bam.
no.
I lost like $98,000.
Yeah, that would have been
crazy.
the shitcoin craze, and it's still going on. It's the number one is Bitcoin. And have you looked deep into it and understand?
Yeah, and bro, I think for me all this crypto is like a scam, you know.
Not Bitcoin.
I think Bitcoin is real, but I think this
the rest is shit.
I think this what's happening around is like a big scam, you know. The Bitcoin or this cryptocurrencies was there for to be anonymous, you know. But now everything is centralized because you need to register with your ID card, with your bank card, so you cannot even do much more like this this transactions without leaving footprints. Yeah. So I think the sense behind it is lost.
Well, there's sites. One site is called BISQ. It's called BISQ, and it's a peer-to-peer trading platform through an escrow.
Yeah.
On being able to trade Bitcoin. So like if you it's I'm not a sponsor. This is what I use because the problem with, let's say, like a Binance or crypto.com or FTX, whatever. There you go. That's the problem. But the problem is they're centralized exchanges.
Yeah.
Which means if they go under, you lose everything.
Yeah, that's
so when you use something like BISQ, it's a bit complicated to get it working. You have to put Bitcoin in to authorize it. If I'm on there and you're on there,
yeah,
I can. It's 100% peer to peer. I put my Bitcoin with my wallet address how I want, and I say I want to sell 1 Bitcoin at the price plus 2%, and then you go on and you go, okay, I want to buy it. It goes automatically through an escrow account, and we trade each other's money through something. It could be like TransferWise. But it's like there's an escrow in the middle, which means it doesn't transfer. They take responsibility on the transfer. It's actually trading peer to peer, and then you can put your Bitcoin onto your ledger, your cold storage device, 100% decentralized, and no KYC. So there's no
if it's decentralized as well, but mostly, you know, look what happened to FTX, Binance. So many people got fucked, you know.
Well,
people lose their trust.
You can purchase on those things like FTX, but then you can just take it off right away and put it onto your cold storage. I think Bitcoin is going to be the most revolutionary technology in our lifetime. It is the only digital asset that you can transfer money. Let's call it purchasing power across time and space. If you're in Germany and you want to bring $1 million to Thailand, can you put that in a briefcase and go through the border? No. Could you put it on your wrist on a watch? Okay. Possible. But then you have to sell that watch, and that's not easy, right? So with Bitcoin,
diamonds.
Well, diamonds as well. But
diamonds
again,
diamonds work very well because they're like almost same value all over the world.
Diamonds, definitely, it's easier to transport diamonds, but still, if you were to get caught or anything along, like carrying something, right?
Yeah.
Bitcoin on a cold storage, you only need your password. So you could be in Germany, and if you have your password and you land in Thailand, you can exchange with someone peer to peer over here, and this way you're removing the central banks, which is kind of controlling that. What's the craziest thing where I'll try to blow your mind about Bitcoin, people don't see yet. Bitcoin is going to be a battery source for storage of power. And it will transport power across time and space with no devices. So what do I mean by that? Imagine there's dams, and they're doing this. There's a dam in Bhutan. And the dam, the dam generates energy. Right.
Sure.
And that energy can be used and connected to Bitcoin mining machines. Now, I need to transfer that energy to maybe an Indian country. Well, if you're transferring that energy, you need a certain infrastructure to transfer that. And you're going to lose about 40 to 50% of the energy along the way. If I set up Bitcoin mining machines, right, and I mine the energy from the dam directly, it's like a battery now. Now I have that as Bitcoin. I can go to that Indian town, and then maybe instead of me transferring the energy of the dam, maybe I can use the wealth from the Bitcoin to improve their infrastructure or set up solar panels specifically on spot. So you're trading the power that you capture for something else in another location. This is where they're going to see the power of Bitcoin, and they're going to and they're setting it up on like geothermal volcanoes like in Iceland. Because if you can, there's so much energy in the world that we can capture, but you can't transfer it from one end to the other. How could you set up a transfer of power from a dam in Bhutan to maybe a city in India or wherever you need to get it? The piping is impossible, but you can capture
the wealth. Yeah.
The wealth. This is the power, and that's why everyone is so confused. They say, Bitcoin's bad for the world. It's not energy efficient. It's like there's volcanoes in the middle of Hawaii. If you were able to capture the power through Bitcoin mining, I mean, that power at the end of the day on the earth is just, it disappears. What if we capture it and store it? This is going to be the difference maker. I think you'll see it in the next 5 years. Nobody understands it yet, how they're doing it. And that's what I'm saying. You're transferring, you're preserving purchasing power, but you're transferring energy across time and space. That's my, I don't know if this podcast is about me or Bitcoin. So we'll jump a little bit back on track because the audience hates when I talk about Bitcoin, but I'm here to educate on two things, mushrooms and Bitcoin. And we're all done with Bitcoin. We'll talk about mushrooms now. So you're in Thailand now. Are you getting close to the end of the 5 weeks? You're going to go back?
Yeah, I have now, I think, 3 more weeks left here in Thailand, and then we go back to Germany. Yeah.
Germany. And then when is your fight scheduled?
The fight is scheduled for the 25th of November in South Africa.
In South Africa. Are you have to cut weight for that?
No, I fight in Bridgerweight.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain.
Bridgerweight. That's a new. Should I say something about it?
Yeah. Let's talk about, because I was reading. I'm a big MMA fan. I think boxing after the whole Tyson era, like it kind of disappeared a little, unless you're a hardcore fan. And then kind of UFC came in and it was a bit easier to follow. But let's talk about like your weight classes and what's going on. You're WBC, correct?
Yeah, WBC.
Talk about that and maybe even the transition. How could you go from Bridgerweight up to heavyweight? How does that all work?
So look, the thing is the boxing changed, yeah. Before there was cruiserweight till 91 and there was heavyweight plus 91 without limit. But in the early days, the heavyweights, they had like 100 kg, 105 kg, yeah. And nowadays the heavyweights are like 130, 120 kg, yeah. So they needed to invent a class between. And they invented the Bridgerweight, which is still 100 kg. And they call it after a young guy in England. There was a case, I don't know if you know the story, I'm pretty sure you heard about it. There was a girl, she got attacked by a dog. Then her small brother jumped in. Yes. And the dog, his complete face is fucked up for his life, yeah. And the name of the guy was Bridger.
But it's a very young boy.
Yeah, very young boy, exactly. Yeah. And the name of the guy was Bridger. So this is why they called the weight class, because the guy was so brave. They called after him Bridgerweight.
And when did this weight class come into effect?
Before 2 years.
Yeah, because I was going to say that story's not that old.
But it's a cool story, yeah?
Yeah, I know. I saw it was all over social media, right? I mean, but that dog, he really ripped him off.
But to honor this guy, they named the weight class after him because he was so brave. It's a cool story.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least that's something for him to be proud of. He probably won't realize it for another. He's probably less than 10 years old at the time.
And I think now he realizes.
When you're competing in this weight class, as it's a new weight class, and people are kind of competing at this new level, there's not a lot of like history or fights to look back on to do proper tape studying.
There is not, but the fighters was fighting before. They are either former cruiserweights or former heavyweights, yeah.
So the cruiserweight you're saying is 91 kg.
91, yeah.
Then you're up, so yeah, I'm thinking in pounds as well. So you're 100 kg, like 225. And now, but most of the heavyweights, they're pushing that 225. Like your Tyson Furies, he's probably walking around 250, 260.
Yeah, there's some other guys that are much heavier. We humans developed. Like George Foreman, yeah. They called him Big Joe, but he was perhaps 105 kg. That's not much.
Yeah, I guess that's what.
Or Muhammad Ali was like 92 kg, 91. He could compete nowadays in cruiserweight.
Yeah, I think especially with these guys, like now you got Francis Ngannou coming
Yeah,
in.
this
But
are like
I don't.
super mutants, you know.
I mean, he's ripped 260. Like,
Yeah.
well, I guess he's going to be fighting Tyson Fury. What are your thoughts on that fight about to happen? I mean, Tyson Fury's kind of saying, I mean, the guy he's got too much muscle on him. How's he going to last?
I think in a boxing match, anything can happen because he's strong and he's brave, you know, and he don't know what he's doing. So for Tyson Fury, it's gonna be very hard to anticipate what's coming from Francis because Francis is not so by himself knowing what he's punching because he's so wild, you know.
It's kind of like, do you play poker ever?
Yeah, sure.
It's like there's two people you don't play poker with: someone who has unlimited money and the new guy.
And new guys, because the new guys they go in with and they hit
7-2
runner 7.
You have aces. I go,
yeah.
When I sit at a table, I think I'm pretty good. I'll sit at the table, I'll watch. I'm like, who's the newest guy here? Don't play him.
Don't play, they're dangerous.
And who's the guy that has so much money he does not care what to fucking lose right now? Because those guys you cannot beat.
No, and also Francis. I mean, for him, he have nothing to lose. He only can win. He does like a bunch of money because of the fight. And even if he lose, they're going to say, oh, it's a boxing match. You know, so Tyson Fury goes there with a big pressure. He have to win. He have to dominate. And perhaps this can crush him, yeah?
Well, I'm assuming Tyson Fury's doing it to just take title baddest man on the planet. Because he's like, wait a minute, you can't have that title. That's what he's going for.
Yeah, but then you have to do with him a MMA fight.
Yeah, I guess he'd have to cross over. But it looks like he's already planned his fight with Usyk, right?
With Usyk, yeah,
Usyk,
December.
Pronunciation. Which is funny because it's like, well, something goes wrong.
1.5 month, yeah.
That's how confident.
I tell you, anything can happen. I think this Francis, he can knock Tyson Fury out if he hits him properly. Yeah, because he's like a machine, you know. He's like a mutant. Actually, yeah, he's really like a mutant.
And that weight, I mean, you know, it's a ticking time bomb. When you're fighting at that weight class, anyone can get knocked out if they're getting connected.
Yeah, if he's. I think you know, there is an old saying in boxing: a boxer you have to fight, and a fighter you have to box. So if Francis try to box with him, he's gonna be destroyed. But if Francis fights him,
just pressures and just
pressure and just wild punches, because anatomically he's a monster. You know, this Francis.
Yeah, it's better he doesn't try to go the distance.
No,
just go in there swinging.
Not this fucking jab. Right, pushing, spitting. I don't know anything.
Yeah. So you're fighting for the title.
Yeah.
In boxing and WBC, what comes with winning the title? Like in terms of not the fight purse or anything like that.
Yeah.
In terms of like promotion, media exposure, sponsorships. How does that happen?
I think to win this title, it's a great story, and I think this can have a big influence on my country, on Albania, on Kosovo, because like then we have again a hero, you know, and the people are gonna have motivation. Perhaps I can be the Rocky of somebody, you know.
Do you visualize that daily?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you visualize bringing the belt back home?
Yeah, look here, my screensaver on the phone. Yeah, every time if I open my phone, here is written. I will win in South Africa against Kevin Lerena. I will knock him out. Will be WBC world champion and write history for my country. So every time before I open my phone, I read this, you know. This
is your visualization.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you bring the belt back and visit, or is it a bit
everywhere. I would bring first of all to my parents, to my parents, which I'm the most thankful for everything.
Yeah. So that type of title now in the WBC, is this Eddie Hearn?
No, Eddie Hearn is a promoter.
It's just the promoter.
Promoter. Suleiman is the president of WBC.
This is the part coming from like following UFC. I mean, there's only these two promotions, so it's easy to understand. I think as a fan on the outside for boxing,
it
gets
complicated.
very complicated on how does the belt system, and then they do the unified belt. Could you explain a bit of the detail? Just being the champion for WBC doesn't unify you in other promotions. How do all these cross promotions work? Because for me, it's hard to understand.
There are many organizations, but like the main fight organizations in boxing is the WBO, WBA, IBF, and WBC. WBC have obviously the longest history, like the most successful history, and somebody can be in WBC number 7 like me, but in WBA he's not even top 15. It's very complicated, They're like every year there are conventions, they meet each other, and it's like on a market. You bid, you say my fighter fought this year this guy, I want to place him number 4, and the other guy say, about my fighter, he fought this guy, you want him number 2. So they bid each other. It's like every year. It's called a convention.
And then there's, for example, you're fighting in WBC and you can go over to WBA. Is there issues like, are you renegotiating contracts? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, 100%. But also this is thing from the managers with the promoters, it's like quite complicated. I think for this podcast is too much to explain, but it's really.
I mean, that's what's interesting about boxing. It's like even, yourself being in the sport, you're like, I don't even know. It's difficult to explain as well.
No, I don't think it's hard to explain. I just think it's like long to explain, And you have to see who's the champion, and then you have to see, there is, for example, a ranking, top 15, The champion have to fight number 1. But what is if the other guy from the other organization wants to challenge the champion from this organization? Have the number 1 to wait, so they have to see the contract. How is it possible? It's like very tricky, A
lot of politics.
So this is why also Tyson Fury with Usyk is a big problem, because there's so many organizations behind, and they all want their money also,
They're all in those negotiations, in the contracts. Everyone's trying to get a piece.
And also these people who are on the list to wait. Because Usyk holds now three belts, WBO, WBA, and IBF. But also in this list, you have people who have to fight, who are waiting, who are on contender.
So it just slows.
But now these people have to wait because he fights Tyson Fury. So perhaps they have to make a contract that these people get the cash out, that they let the fight happen. And if somebody say no, the fight is stopped.
Yeah, it sounds like that's the thing. It's almost a web, just a mess.
Yeah, it's a web. It's not a mess. It's just a web, and people who are the contender, you have to give them money to let the fight happen. So it's called step away purse.
Do most boxers and even yourself, when you're in this profession, you can kind of foresee like, okay, around this age, I'm probably planning to leave. Are you already planning like this way in advance, or is it more just fight by fight and you take it day by day?
I say every time, if somebody asks me how long I'm going to fight, I say every time till to the next fight. Because you don't know what's going to happen, You don't know injuries, this and that. And if you do this on a high level like me, you have like every time crazy injuries. I had like ACL, I ruptured my biceps. They put me a biceps from a dead body inside. I'm like an atomic wonder that I even can walk.
What happened?
I punched somebody, my biceps ruptured. I waited too long. They couldn't put it more back, so they put me from a dead body a biceps.
No, was it ripped completely?
Yeah, it was ripped up. From a left hook, and and then but I waited too long, so muscle was contracted. They couldn't put it more back. So they had to extend from a dead body biceps.
How long did that take to recover? At least a year.
No, I did after 4 months of fight again, but it takes usually 1 year.
Are boxers, are they allowed to use stem cells at any point?
No.
It's completely...
No, it's completely... Like the doping list is very, very strict in boxing.
Because I think MMA, UFC, I think they're allowed to use stem cells like on knees and shoulders.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
The thing is, on a high level... You can use anything, If you have the right medical team who for example, if you take the molecular chain of testosterone,
Yeah.
If you just add one molecular more, it's not more testosterone. So it's not more doping.
And is it like USADA or who will come after and they try to test you guys?
Yeah, it's like... For me, it's the WBC. Okay. I'm like in a program where they can test me any moment. And I need to fill out formulas like whereabout, where I am. And if I'm not there, it's like a positive test.
And they can just show up at your door in Thailand at 5 a.m.
Happened already a few times.
When you're in Thailand?
In Thailand, not.
No.
Thailand, I have the feeling this like here nothing happened. I think it's also the feeling why many people are here, actually.
I've heard some stories where they kind of will just show up at the door in the morning and they
Thailand?
Yeah, in Thailand, yeah. I think
Should that happen?
who knows? Maybe they end up showing up and then they get too drunk on Bangla and they don't make it themselves 5 in the morning.
No, but you need to go. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They wait 3 hours. So I was one time at home in Germany, and my mother is calling me. She said like, "Hey, somebody's in your house." I'm like, "Who is it?" She said like, "Guys from anti-doping." I'm like, "Okay." Tell them I'm not there. They say, "Okay." They wait. Till I come in 4 hours. They say, "No problem." They will wait. So they was waiting like 4 hours till I come.
And they make sure you come back.
Yeah, they make sure you come back 100%.
Yeah, that's it must be quite difficult, especially when you have a schedule. They're just showing up and
Yeah, but it's their job. Yeah, it's their job. But I think also they're.
yeah, it is what it is. When your family is watching you boxing, earlier in your career, were they supportive? Or I mean, watching your own child go into these wars, I mean, there's always, especially I would assume for your mother, it's like, you know, it can be scary. Like, have you had those conversations with family when they're like, "Are you going to be okay?" Are they a bit concerned?
Yeah, they was every time concerned. You know, they're afraid. It's a mother. The mother gonna be afraid. Even the son is 60 years old. Yeah, and I think it's very natural also for your friends around. Yeah, because you see in the history what happened to many people.
Yeah,
you know, one punch can change your life. It's not a game. Many people underestimate that.
Have you ever, in any match, whether sparring or a fight itself, like taken a punch where you might question, maybe I need to do testing for CTE, because this is becoming a big part of the conversation now?
Yeah. No.
You feel okay?
I feel okay, but I had many people who had to do this. So it's like if you're a pro, one time a year, you need to do a CT, a brain scan to see if everything is fine. In Germany right now happened the case, there is 2 big guys that have a fight. And one of the guys had to do his CT before the fight. He did, and they found a tumor in his head.
Is that boxing related or
no? It's not, but
genetically,
but still, it's like randomly a tumor. You know.
Have you done any CT scans?
Yeah. Every year I do.
Every year you do.
Every year I do.
And I guess at a certain point, like nowadays, when they're doing that testing, they can kind of tell you if there's a problem, and you can make those decisions.
100%. No, they don't say it's a problem. If a problem, they don't let you fight.
Yeah, I think
there is, but still, you know, in Germany it's very strict. But when you go now to another country, and you can easily fake these documents, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know, also, I think in Thailand it's also like very dangerous, really, to do here training with these people, because I think like here, many of the fighters, like let's say 85-90% are here on Jews.
It's possible.
Possible.
I mean, it's hopefully. Yeah, I don't think Tiger will kill me. It's very interesting at Tiger Muay Thai when you go outside and there's literally a juicing bar beside the place. There's like, do you know what I mean?
I know. The complete street. People come here all over the world. They do this, you know. But it's for me, these people, they shouldn't never fight, or they shouldn't be allowed to be in sport, because you know the thing is, if you take steroids or juice, yeah. Let's say you play football. Your advantage is you're gonna run faster. You're going to shoot more, and your stamina is better, yeah? Well, that's okay. But in fighting, yeah, you go with the intention in the fight to kill somebody. And you know, this is like...
Seriously, you can hurt
someone. You can kill somebody. You know, in football, you don't offend anybody because you just do things better.
I mean, I can attest to it. I've done testosterone 3 times.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with it is 100%, I can attest, you feel fucking awesome. But the issue with it is it's kind of yin and yang, meaning like you feel great when you're on it. I didn't take a lot. I took 200 milligrams for 10 weeks of testosterone ethynate, which is like a slow release. And I was just doing that just not to get big, just to have that extra motivation. TRT. I said, well, not as low as TRT. Like TRT could be like 150 milligrams. I was doing about 250. Once I did 300. The problem with it is like you'll feel great for 12 weeks. And then the second you come off it, like you're just going to get fat. Everything crashes down because your body has to now produce this naturally. It was getting synthetically. So that's great. You felt great for 12 weeks. But for 2 to 3 months, and even for me, up to a year, you feel very slow, You start to put on weight quicker. I guess like the point of the story is like you can't play God to a certain level unless you just stay on it the rest of your life.
And there are, also there are many hormones. It's not just testosterone.
Yeah.
It's like a pulled at the DJ, If you put one up, the rest is still down. You have to be everything like with a team of doctors and everything. But I wonder, like people who are not even pros, how they do this and without medical research and stuff like this. I see this on the street on the Soitayat on Chalong, yeah. On every pharmacy, you just can go and buy juice, yeah. That's crazy. And I see people. Sometimes I'm in the pharmacy, I buy some stuff, and I hear like what people order. Yeah. One time I was buying something, yeah, and I hear from the back, I hear like trembolone, testosterone, blah blah blah. I think like, wow, this guy have to be a bodybuilder. I turn over, it's like a skinny fucker. I'm like, does he inject in the wrong place or what's happening? What?
Maybe one muscle is quite big. I don't know.
No, but it's ridiculous. It's like it's dangerous.
Yeah, if you're not doing like proper blood work and understanding not just the dosage on
but
it.
not just that, even that a fighter does that, it's like it isn't fair because you really can harm somebody. You really can kill somebody.
And especially not just in boxing, but in let's say Muay Thai. For sure, the Muay Thai fighters are on it. A lot of them. I think they take like stuff more for their oxygen. It's like something like this. But I mean, there's other promotions that are not as
don't
strict.
test at all. No,
they don't test.
This is why you see many good fighters, and you think like, oh, why are they not in the UFC? Exactly because of the doping, because they cannot play this game. Yeah.
I've always wondered that with one championship if they're a bit lenient there, because sometimes watching one, you can see their bodies. You're like, it doesn't look natural. The guys like Yoel Romero in the UFC, he looked on juice, but he wasn't. But there's a lot more if you watch one championship that look like they're on juice, and I'm wondering if it's because of all of Southeast Asia.
100%. I think like any one of them is 100%. There's no testing.
Yeah, I guess when you're all the way over here from USADA, who's coming over, it's probably just not happening.
Nobody knows. So this is expensive. This costs money.
Yeah, and that's why I think the Brazilians get away with it as well in Brazil, because a lot of them are not flying over there, and
and they don't go in these favelas to test them. Yeah.
Okay, just before we wrap it up, I want to talk one final piece, like a day in the life. Today you got up, you did training, you come to this lunatics podcast about mushrooms. For the rest of your day, how is that structured? I know you got training later at, you said 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock. So you're going to be driving back down south to Chalong. How are you going to structure the rest of your day, like in terms of planning your meal, you're driving back and then going towards bed? Because I get this question quite often, especially for fighters that are on the podcast. Like, what does that day consist of, and kind of walk us through that specifically for today?
For today, I just drive back. I make my small siesta. I gonna train. I eat and go perhaps play some pool. I love to play pool here.
And yeah, because the Thais, they're really good.
Oh, I play here in the Thai league pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
they're next level.
I just won yesterday. No, I won yesterday.
Which place?
In Laguna. Yesterday we played against Laguna Bar in Ravai.
Up here?
Ravai.
In Ravai?
In Ravai, yeah.
Yeah, because do you ever play against the Orange Bar people? You see them down there?
No, I play in the Ravai league. There are many different leagues, yeah.
Are you playing 8 ball or 9?
8 ball.
8 ball.
But I also can play 9 ball, yeah, sure.
But the Thais, they're really good.
You think, yeah?
I don't know.
They pot good sometimes, but there are some of them that are good, yeah, but mostly not actually, yeah. Depends. The best players in the world.
Philippines,
I would say. At the moment, the best is Albanian.
Really?
Eklund Kachi. He beat, when he was 18 years old, he beat Efren Reyes.
Efren Reyes is the Filipino, right?
Yeah, but yes, like the legend, the magician.
The legend, yeah.
The magician, but he beat him with 18 years.
Do you ever play snooker?
Snooker, I played here in a bar against some Thais for money. I never play again.
I've tried. See, snooker is just, I've played it at Patong years ago. I used to actually be quite good at 8 ball, but like pool, unless you're playing every day, like it just falls apart.
Yeah, 100%.
And then snooker, holy shit, snooker is just...
It's a different game, you know, the balls are smaller, the
holes are smaller, the table's massive.
It's also, man, it's just a different game, yeah. But we can go one time for a game if you want.
Yeah, don't hustle me, the first game's a couple dollars. No, hey, you're coming for my watch. Okay. That wraps up another episode. What I'm gonna do, just quick, if you can let everyone know where they can find you and even your YouTube channel. So I'll cut it back to this camera here and just we'll put links down in the description and how people can reach out to you, especially for your channel, which is I think it's really unique and interesting. Along the sense, if you're looking for a channel for someone like yourself at that level to introduce you to gyms.
Yeah, guys, subscribe my channel. They're all almost, I think, every gym from Thailand is there. And you see insights, you see interviews, you see the coaches, you see the girls, you see everything.
Yeah, he's all. You're going around Bangkok. You're
everywhere.
In Do you have a video coming out soon? Anything from Thailand?
Yeah, the next episode is a Super Pro in Koh Samui. Super Pro,
the gym.
the gym, but it's like
I think a lot of people. I think
it's very good.
Alexander. I think Pahara was there. Do you know?
He was there. Yeah, he was
there.
there. He was there. Exactly.
Is it a Super Pro? Who's the owner? I've had the owner. Is he Brazilian?
No.
Someone's reached out to me from there.
No, the Dutch.
Dutch.
Too. You know, Glory.
It's not the. It's.
You know Glory? You heard of Glory?
Yeah.
Glory is like the biggest K1 promoter in the world, yeah? And Infusion, you know Infusion?
No.
Infusion is also like, Glory and Infusion are like the two main K1 things in the world. And they both are the owner of Super Pro.
Super. Okay, no, I'm thinking of Copenhagen. There's a guy,
Pascal Schrott.
Yes.
Pascal Schrott, yeah, I know.
Yeah, Pascal. I saw him at Bangtao one day. This guy's in serious shape.
Yeah, he's every time very lean, yeah.
This is what's crazy. These Muay Thai fighters, like they look so skinny, but they're like, they just don't put on, they're not lifting weights, but they're lethal.
I don't know what they do, but somehow.
The problem for me is I eat so much, and I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, you have to enjoy the food.
Exactly. Okay, that ends another episode. We hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, buy some mushrooms. They're not psychedelic, but they will take your training to the next level. All right, we're out. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much.